How you doing? How's everyone doing tonight? I put out a little video today warning you about this video. It's enough. You guys want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Good or bad, you're going to get it. Let me start by saying that I have absolutely no reason to not tell the total truth. I mean, you guys can keep chattering away on those chats and lives and live things and all that. Do whatever you want. You're talking to somebody who comes from the same town as Tommy. You're talking to someone who is not a hater and not a shill. You're talking to someone that played it. You're talking to someone that's been a gamer since 1980. So, I don't know what you guys want, but I know what some of you want. I mean, I keep seeing the same thing night after night, which is entertaining, by the way. But you guys ain't getting nowhere, I'll tell you that. Real quick, let me go back to this. This is an Intellivision controller from back in the day, Television 2. That pretty much looks and feels just like the Amico controller. Okay? Except obviously here we got a screen. Okay? We got the spinner, all right? We got the side buttons, which are top buttons now. Okay. So let me refresh what I meant in that Astro Smash video. This is supposed to be a console that's supposed to be related to not only the family part and the coach co-op part and the multiplayer part, but a lot of people like No Swear Gamer want to know more about single player. And since these games are, for single player, most of them are going to be reimagined classics, right? Okay, so if this is what you want to know, what I meant by what I meant, okay? Here you have an Odyssey 2 controller from back in the day. It's just like the Atari. It's got the fire button and the joystick. So it's pretty much the Atari controller, okay? So, now when we play a certain game like a shooter or whatever, anything, this would either be a fire button for shooters or a jump button for platforms. All right, so this is what I meant when I said, I know times have changed since this. We know this, but I'm just doing a quick recap. Okay, so we're playing a shooter. We got our hand, I'm a righty. Okay, we got our hand on the joystick. So that's how we're moving back and forth. And this is how we're firing, with the thumb, okay? We are using the thumb to fire, okay? All right. Now today, we have, let's say, our normal gamepad, okay? Today we have, for PS5, the current systems, you know what it is. 2 top buttons, analog sticks, things everywhere. But I'm going to stick to, the older stuff. Because all them buttons are needed on the new games, mostly. Okay, so here's your general gamepad, which started off with Nintendo gamepad. But it got to Genesis, Super Nintendo, whatever. Okay. So on this one, it changed from this. I just showed you thumb fires, hands move, fingers. Okay, here the thumb went to the pad. Okay, so now here we go. Okay, and the fire buttons are still the thumb. Okay, unless you got top buttons up here. Okay, but that's like right now, what I'm doing right now is very uncomfortable compared to this. Okay, and I'll tell you why. You guys talked about on YouTube, some people have talked about the mushy buttons. Okay, now in a sense, they are mushy because of the fact that you're pushing with your index finger. Okay, now when you push with your index finger, you gotta, you gotta press. You gotta press. It's not so much tap, it's press. Where when you use your thumb, what we're used to, you're pressing, but the reach of the thumb compared to the index finger up here, the reach for the thumb is just way more comfortable, and you don't have to, for some reason, what I'm trying to say is you don't have to give it as much of a press. You see what I'm saying? We're here, yeah, you could do the same thing, but it's hard to explain until you play it, that doing this is a lot more tiring and uncomfortable than doing this. I mean, for me it is. I don't know, maybe it's different for other people, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. If I use my thumbs, okay, I'm not getting tired. I could do this all night. Okay? But here, no, I'm afraid not. Say what you want, but this is not the same as this. Okay, so I wanted to clear that out. Now that's what brings us to the problem of the options and settings that I was talking about. If your Amico controller cannot be configured to how you want it, then I just gave you an example on Astro Smash being this and the slide, okay? And don't forget, when you're playing, your head is at that screen. You're watching the action. You're not looking down on this, okay? So yes, you'll get used to it after time. But this is more tiring than this. And it just feels a lot better to do this than this, okay? Where back in the day, the whole problem with the Intellivision controller is that you held it like this, and you moved around with your thumb, and you used the side buttons to fire. Again, actually, this you're using your thumb or your index finger, depending on what was more comfortable. But we all know that the fire buttons being on the side, or the jump buttons, and whatever, are never gonna be as comfortable as the fire beings on the gamepad itself. Okay? If, for instance, number 5 was the fire button, and the Amico controller, or even if it was this way, even if it was held straight, and I'm using my thumb to move around, and the fire button was 5, that alone would have made the classic Intellivision more playable than to do this. Okay? That was the problem with the classic Intellivision controller. And then the ColecoVision had the same kind of thing, and nobody liked that controller either. And that's why you can use an Atari controller on a ColecoVision. I have a ColecoVision hooked up that I play, and I never use the original controller. I have to have one in port 2 because some of these numeral numbers pick the options. But for gameplay, no. And the reason why I don't play the original Intellivision as much is because of the fact that there's no other controller that you can use. You can't configure. No one to this day has configured a usable joystick for the Intellivision. It's because of the numbers and the pins and stuff. So you're pretty much stuck playing it this way. And that gets very tiring in most games. So All right, just wanted to clear the controller part up. Now, getting back to the options. If you can't configure this Amico controller to how you want it, right? Okay, that means Astro Smash, you're going to get used to playing it the way it is with the top buttons, okay? All right? Now, you put Flying Tigers in, and this is fire. The screen is fire. So now that's two different games with two different configurations. Okay? You're going to find out that maybe you like this better than this. I like this better than this. But either way, you're going to have to get used to two ways of playing two different games so far. Okay? So, without being able to configure the controllers, which I'm not 100% positive that you can't, but nothing's been shown on that, so I'm gonna go with that. There's no way to configure games, and I asked Tommy. As a matter of fact, that was one of the questions I asked him, and I don't know if it was in the moment, but he said no, there's no way to change that. Okay, so next, No Swear Gamer. I finally got a hold of him. He was doing a live chat with Tony last night. And I came in and wrote some messages, how I been trying to contact you. Now, here's the thing. No Swear Gamer, I'm going to go on a limb here and just say this. He doesn't have a clue. I mean, he does his homework, and he has the right questions, and he has the right concerns. But he doesn't have a clue as far as what he's being told by who he's asking. I mean, Tony was good, but Tony supposedly is marked as a hater. But since I met Tony, he seems like a good guy, and he seems to be not exactly in the middle, but maybe was more of a hater before, but coming off the fence a little bit. Maybe he's a Tommy hater. I don't know. Maybe not necessarily an Amico hater, because he does seem interested and he is covering it. So I got nothing against Tony. I think he's a good guy. He reaches out to me here and there. I reached out to him. I wanted to give him this information. But, and I'm being like No Swear Gamer wants to have me on, and Tony's wanted to have me on. But you know what? I don't know if it's because I'm not set up for live chats but I feel like I don't need to be because I'm on my platform right here, and I can pretty much tell you, pretty much what you people want to know without any bias. Maybe in some of my videos, like on my Amico experience in the Boston event, maybe I was a little biased because I met everyone there, and Tommy has a way of making people feel like once you meet him and you play it with him that you're on his side now. But this is why I'm trying to explain. I'm on no side, okay? I'm going to say this again. I have no pre-order on the Amico. I have no games on the Amico. I didn't order any of those physical games. I don't have a pre-order. I'm not I don't have a founder edition coming. So with that said, I want you to know, and I've said this before, that I'm on no side. So I'm not on the dark side or this side, all right? So, but I do my homework on all sides. I tried to create a middle side, and I believe there is a middle side, because obviously there's people that aren't invested like me and No Swear Gamer. There's people that are that but haven't played it. There's the shills, I guess you guys call it, or Tommy's Army or whatever. they obviously, most of them have it pre-ordered, or they have a founder coming and they've been on board since day one. So they've been pretty much latched on to Tommy, and that's the reason. They have a reason to be, because they've been there since day one. They believed in this thing since day one. Then that's what probably created the hater side. Is what I think created the hater side, and I can see that side too, because sometimes when someone like a side overplays it and just won't take no for an answer, won't change their mind on anything, and that's how haters become hating on that, because I can see that. So that's why I see all sides to this. And of course, I was on Darius's channel yesterday. He put me on one of my videos. And like I said, that was the video recapping the day I had. So there was nothing there. I'd said I didn't do a review. I wasn't doing a review on it. I kind of, he at one point he said I'm being nice, which he's right. So, I mean, a lot of things that Darius says on some of his videos, I have to I can't be against, not when he talks about people in a bad way, but when he says things about the Amico and the games, and sometimes he's right. I mean, sometimes he's spot on and he hasn't played it. So I'm wondering where he gets his information, because he seems to know. Sometimes he seems to nail it. And I can't disagree with that. So that's why I'm saying that I'm a middleman that will not lie to you and will tell you the facts, because I got no reason to not tell you the facts. Tommy hasn't paid me. Haters haven't pulled me on their side. I'm still right there in the middle where I've been since day one. So now getting back to No Swear Gamer, he had Atari Creep and Saggy on last week. Now I was there and I met them, and I have nothing against them. I'm a good friend with Atari Creep Chris right now. As far as, meeting him and staying in touch here and there. But I didn't think he got the right answers from them. No offense to them. But you got to remember, No Swear Gamer, here's this guy who came in, and he's a true classic gamer. He's probably right in the same shoes as I am. He just hasn't been following as long, and he hasn't played it. So that's where I think I have a few more, some more of his concerns and questions. I have his answers. I just sometimes don't know how to come out with them. And now when he had this interview, when he had this live chat with Atari Creep and Saggy, he did come across a lot of questions about the buttons being mushy, or the release date. And by the way, No Swear Gamer, if you watch this, I mentioned to Tommy about your prediction for the release date, which you were going by GameStop. And he says, he doesn't, he's clueless, that guy. He doesn't know anything. And then I said, well, I asked him, is it going to be the first quarter for sure? Did you mean founders, or did you mean release? And he didn't answer me that. So I'm thinking, if the thing just went in production, I'm thinking, or pre-production, I'm thinking quarter one meant, and this is just a guess, I think quarter one meant founders, and then pre-orders will eventually happen. And I don't think this thing will hit retail. I don't think this thing will hit retail until closer to 10/10 of 22. That's my prediction. Like, the actual launch is going to end up being close to 10-10, maybe August. I'm thinking September, October. But I don't see it happening quarter 1. If it just went into pre-production and the founders have to get theirs first, and production might end up going to China. So I wouldn't bet on quarter 1 to be the actual release date is what I'm saying. But again, I don't know this for sure. But getting back to his interview with, see, I didn't think he got the right answers because Saggy even admitted she's not really a player. She doesn't even like most of the games. She just likes shooters, I think she said. I forgot what she said, but she's there. And this is nothing against her, but she's there more for the coverage, and she enjoys being around everyone, and she's been following it since day one. So, and I'm sure she's excited to get one to play with her family, maybe, or friends, and she's gonna get one. But again, she doesn't have one pre-ordered or anything like that. So she kind of falls in the middle, but she's obviously, in cahoots with Tommy and the guys there on that side because she covers it so much. Oh, I think she just enjoys being there and the drama of the two sides. So nothing against her there, but I don't think he got any answers he was looking for from Saggy. And Atari Creep, I know he said that if he had any problems, he would come out and say it. And this is no offense to him either, but you have to remember he is a founder. So I'm not saying he's being biased, but there's gonna be a little bias in there, especially because he was responsible for having that event even happen. Because as Saggy said, wasn't gonna go through. And then Atari Creep kind of helped make it happen. So now, I mean, no offense again, but come on. Is this guy going to literally tell you if he did have any negatives? Is he going to do this to Tommy after, you know what I mean? So I for one, I don't want to be that guy. I mean, and I'm not saying Atari Creep's being any kind of guy. I think he probably did the right thing. Not telling too much and sticking with his, maybe that's really how he feels. But I just think there's going to be some bias there because he is a founder. So again, this is no offense to Atari Creep, but again, getting back to No Swear Gamer, I'm just saying you're not getting your answer. You didn't get any of your answers. You may have touched some things with them, but you didn't get much from them. Now you had Tony on last night, and that's not bad because Tony's been following this, both sides, and he hasn't played it. And it didn't seem like you got much out of Tony till the end about something, about marketing or something like that. You ended up getting something that you said, oh, it was worth doing this interview now. And that's no offense to Tony either. He probably couldn't answer some of those things. And okay, so I reached out to No Swear Gamer because I like his questions, and I think he's asking the right, and he's concerned about the right things. So, and no one's really giving him the answers. And now he just talked about having another Pro Amico member on, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know who it is, but I don't think that's going to be any good. I mean, it depends, we'll see. But I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in this right here in this video. So, again, what I mean by getting caught up with Tommy is you got to understand that if you go to one of these events, like say Turbo Joe or DJC or Panda or like people that have been to both, like some of the guys like Rab and stuff, you got to remember that they are critical. Some of these guys, they do have, like Rab does have some. Rab was being more critical than anyone at the event. But you're not going to get nothing out of Tommy because of all the commotion going on. You're just never going to get a straight answer. I got to be honest. You can ask Tommy something and he's just going to answer it kind of like Darius said. He's just going to, like, you know, as far as like I asked him to do a bocce game, he seemed pretty content with that. That seemed to be like something he'll do. But like technical questions, some he can't answer, some he just kind of shrugs you away in a way. I don't know. I'm not no offense to him either. He's got a lot on his plate, and he's obviously going to be high on it because he's been working on this and he wants this to happen. But what I mean is, you can get caught up if you go to one of these things